What's up, beautiful people? CorwinLGuilliams, I King Amongst Kings, CLG Speaks. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are feeling blessed. Hope you guys are grateful to be alive. Some people didn't wake up this morning. We did. Yeah, beautiful day today in my city. I know there's been like some storm or something like that in Texas, where Texas. Listen, y'all. I don't watch the news. I don't watch the news. No news at all. I mean, I don't watch TV. I do watch YouTube primarily because I'm able to select the programming that I want to watch. That's basically it. So yeah, I don't really know what's going on as far as like politics, as far as you know, politics in depth, right? Like there are things that I know that's going on as far as like surface level, right? But things that, of course, like if you're on YouTube and people are talking about certain things, yeah, and of course, like there's certain things you just can't escape, right? You can't like. It's so I already know that anything that's really important, like I won't miss it. Like I can't miss it. You won't miss it. So don't ever believe that you not watching the news or not watching certain programming, that you're in a bubble and you're missing anything. I can tell you I have not watched, like I said, the news or anything, but I've not missed anything as far as like this, the CARES Act, the package, the stimulus packages, the CARES Act, and just all the legislation that's been in progress, and nothing has really happened and didn't happen for months. And so could you imagine just every day tuning in to see what's going on with the pandemic, or what's going on with the with whatever it is that the government has decided to use to sustain its people, as a result of a crisis, a national or international crisis. I mean, there were people who have every day was just waiting to hear when they would approve the legislation for the CARES Act, or whatever act that they're working on right now. Or I believe there's a third act that they're working on, and it's just like, I remember before the second one was approved, how much months people were waiting on, for this thing to be approved. And it wasn't. I mean, so could you imagine every day getting up, hoping and praying and believing, you know what I'm saying, that they're going to approve this and that you're going to have the money or whatever, and still it was really nothing. What's $600? Like, you're not being ungrateful, but in contrast or in comparison, or in relation to bills and responsibility and things that people had to pay. What is that? What is $600? That was a joke to me. You know what I'm saying? Now again, we're not being ungrateful. You know what I'm saying? We're not saying that we didn't use it for good things, or for things that were important. But it was just like, why so long? Why did the government take so long to come up with a solution for its people? The facts were there. It was evident. People couldn't go to work. People could not, you know what I'm saying, maintain their livelihood, in the manner of which they were accustomed to. And being that it's a crisis, it was a crisis, something that doesn't happen regularly. It's not like this thing has happened. When was the last time we've had a crisis, right? It's not like these things happen frequently. So it's just like, when it does happen, you should be willing to go all out. You should be willing to do what is right. You should be willing to take care of the people who have committed their lives to this country. That they shouldn't have to worry about little things as far as their rent, as far as how they're going to eat, as far as their bills being paid, right? But again, that's just my opinion, and I get it. There's so much, so much that goes into just, I guess, the compiling of policies and everything that has to be taken into consideration. But listen, this is just my opinion, this is just my belief, and that's what I believe. Now, but yeah, that's a side note, and let that be, introduction to what we're going to be talking about more on my platform, right? I've been led to expand the topics and the things that I talk about into things that, I think about, like, and that's all things, right? Being true to me, staying true to me. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to fit anyone's molds or trying to fit anyone's, expectations, right? I believe this platform God has given me to use my voice, to trust my language, to trust my instincts, to do what comes to my spirit, to do what feels right, and not trying to be conventional or traditional in any approach when it comes to my blog or anything that I'm doing creatively. And so I've been feeling this strong desire to expand, just expand the topics, expand it upon the things that I've been talking about for the past 2 years or since I've been doing my videos and writings. And I believe it's going to be great. I think that's what I've been missing, or that's why, I've not been as excited or persistent and focused on, my business, my brand. You know what I'm saying? This is my brand. This is my business. This is what I believe in, and I do for free. And for me, I literally do it for free. Like, I've not gotten any funds or any fees or anything from my platform, from what I do. And I do believe what I do and what I do share is of value, right? I believe it does. I believe that it does, you know what I'm saying, have value. I believe that it does, it does have the power to change people's lives. And so I know consistency is one. I know that, belief and faith and just consistency, being consistent every day, making sure that I contribute to my dreams and my vision and being selfish about it, right? It's okay to be selfish about the things that, that God has given you to do, to focus on. That was something that the Spirit of God spoke to me about. It just came to my mind about several weeks ago. I got a download from God, and He was basically saying, don't worry about people who judge you based on your current situation, judge you based on your current state in life right now. They don't understand what you've been through, what you're dealing with, and what's going on in your mind. But I know, I understand. So if they want to judge you in every which way, you know what I'm saying, that's inaccurate, then let it be. But don't let that stop you from focusing on what I've called you to do, what I've called you to build. And so that, that was an encouragement from the Spirit of God. And that was just motivation for me, again. And it was affirming for me because, especially if you're someone who's dealt with people pleasing and caring about what people think, you will understand what I'm saying when, sometimes you have to, you second guess, how it is or what it is that you're doing when it comes to dealing with people. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we feel like, sometimes we feel like people will try to make you feel like you're being selfish or you're too into yourself or narcissistic or whatever when you're so focused on you, or you're trying to figure out your life. You're focused on becoming your best self. Leaders, I've been seeing a lot, it says that there are times when they have to focus on themselves, when they have to be by themselves, when they have to be in isolation. And some people they're not going to understand that. They're not going to understand you being in isolation. They're not going to understand, you know what I'm saying, your unwillingness to compromise. Just whatever it is that you need to protect your peace, to protect your ability to focus, to protect what you're creating. And there's always something or situations or things coming in your way to try to distract you from what it is that you're doing. And sometimes these things come as good opportunities, but they're not good opportunities for you. They may be good opportunities for other people, but this opportunity essentially is taking away or distracting you from what the Spirit of God is calling you to do, that will, that you were created to do that will change your life. And so I've had to learn that in many of my seasons, you know what I'm saying? You know, that these distractions, they come in and they come but as good opportunities, but they're not good opportunities. They weren't good opportunities for me because that's not what I was supposed to do in that season, or that's not what, or sometimes it is what it is sometimes is your reasoning behind taking an opportunity. Sometimes you're taking it, you think you're taking it because it's a good opportunity, yes, but if the root of it is money, most times it's not an opportunity that you want, because God, that's not how God operates. God's gifts are more valuable than money. So in other words, so in other words, you have to recognize your gift. You have to recognize, you know what I'm saying? You have to recognize the value in your gifts, because that is worth more than money. Your gifts and you operating in your gifts is what's going to attract money, mutual money. And so that's some of the things that I've had to learn, over and over and over and over again. You know, and I thank God for His grace and His mercy. I thank God, you know what I'm saying, for allowing me to learn these lessons multiple times as much as I needed to learn it, but also for not allowing it to be detrimental to me to the point where, you know, I'm losing more than I'm gaining, if that makes sense. Because I do feel like sometimes a lot of the things that we put ourselves through, or a lot of the things that we go through, should I say, is not because we have to go through it, or it's because God is teaching us a lesson. Most times we are in our own way, and we're causing more problems than if we were just to trust God or trust whatever it is that we're saying, whatever it is that He's saying to us. And I think a lot of the times is having a misunderstanding of God's ability to speak to you. You know, depending on how you receive God's language or His voice to you, you know what I'm saying? If you're believing God is going to speak to you the way God speaks to Tom or Sean or Lisa, and you're expecting God to speak to you the way He speaks to them, that could be you missing out on God speaking to you as loudly and as profoundly as He's been doing, and you don't recognize it because that's not how you're open. That's not how your heart is open. That's not how your eyes and ears are open to receive what God is saying. So you know, but yeah, so that's basically it for now. Hope you guys, again, you know, everything is well with you guys, and I say that all that to say is that there are certain decisions that I have to make, even up until maybe tonight or tomorrow, that I have to make, that it can be difficult if I allow what people think to influence my decision. It will make it difficult. But if I were to believe in what God says I am to do, if I'm to believe in His gifts and what He has called me to do, and if I'm to have faith in, believing that the gifts that He has given me is enough to be not only productive, but to attract the wealth that I've been desiring, and not trying to get this wealth outside of me, but seeing this wealth inside of me and using it and exercising and maximizing the potential to hone these gifts and these abilities and to make it fruitful. So, like I was saying, even up until tonight or tomorrow, there's a decision that I have to make that, in all honesty, would be a decision that I've made multiple times. But I'm making it again because I didn't learn the first time, or I didn't believe enough the first time, or maybe I did believe, but I forgot because the cares of the world or whatever came in and now influenced my decision when I knew better. And so that's what I was saying about just thanking God for His grace, even when he's been patient with us and has, you know, taught us lessons over and over and over and over again. You know, it's like, when do we learn? But when we do learn, it's a beautiful thing. When we do learn and begin to move forward, it's a beautiful thing. All right, beautiful people. Talk to y'all soon.